Just super quick before we get into this video, I wanted to tell you that I made fine art prints of my painting that I completed last month. It's called Dancing in Sunlight. There are 2 sizes available. They're limited edition, so there's only 30 copies ever. So if you would like one, I'll pop the link in the description below. But right now, I want to tell you all about my trip to Sydney for the other art fair. If you're new here, my name is Acacia. I'm a full-time artist in Cairns, Australia, and I recently travelled to Sydney for a 4-day art fair. I really wasn't sure what to expect, but overall my experience was fairly positive, but I'm gonna get into the sort of like good and bad things, or the things I struggled with in this video. First of all, I am from Cairns and this art fair was in Sydney, so we decided to drive from Cairns to Sydney, which took us 4 days. Day 1, 2, day 3, day 4.
Hi. Got a special guest today.
Thomas is the main character because he drove me all the way from Cairns to Sydney.
Is it recording?
Yeah, you have 5 minutes of fame are up. Go on. I had all of my art in the back of the car and everything I needed for the art fair with me. So this in itself was already like a massive journey. But you know, I was like, well, we gotta do it. We gotta take this risk and see what happens. When you exhibit at the art fair, it is your responsibility to hang all your artworks the way that you want them hung and set up the space in the way that you would like. This all happened on the morning of opening night, so we got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, set everything up. Everybody else was setting up too. We got to meet a few of the lovely stall holders that were around me. And then we went away. I tried to get a little bit of rest because I was very tired. Then we came back later that night for opening night. Opening night! Opening night was definitely an experience. There were a lot of people there. I have to be 100% honest and say I didn't sell anything on opening night, and I was actually a little bit upset. I kind of felt really deflated after, you know, speaking to people all night and seeing other people selling stuff. Yeah, it did just make me feel a little bit disheartened. I was not really feeling great on Friday morning when I was getting ready to head back to the fair for it opening again on the Friday. Once again, on Friday, I didn't sell anything, but I have to admit that a lot of the artists in booths around me on Friday also didn't really seem to have many sales or any sales. So it does just make me wonder if like there's a different sort of crowd that come through on each day. I did on Saturday morning just rearrange my booth a bit. All right, it's day 3 and I changed my booth around. I feel as though like the way that I had laid out my booth didn't really give each artwork its own space, so I wish that I had done that sooner. That was something that I think definitely, 1, helped me make my first sale on Saturday, and 2, it helped people be able to interact with the art a bit better. So on Saturday I ended up selling 3 paintings, which was very exciting. By Sunday I feel as though I had kind of figured out how to be talking to people. I realize now that on Thursday and Friday, I can't even actually remember what I was saying to people when they were approaching my booth. Probably nothing, probably just like, hello, and like expecting them to just buy it. No, I've never like interacted with people like this, so it was definitely an eye-opener. On Sunday, I again sold 1 more painting, which it was one of my bigger paintings, so I, again, super happy about that. Overall, I sold 4 paintings, which is really cool, and I met loads of incredible people that loved my art. Loads of people took my flyers and my business cards. I actually ran out of business cards by the end of the weekend. I feel like I learned so much. I learned a lot about my target audience, which I didn't really know before. I think has really like changed me in my thinking, but I'm going to talk about that in another video because I feel like it's a big topic. So I'm going to save that for my next video, but I definitely learnt heaps this weekend. All of the artists at the art fair were so incredibly talented. I think I've discovered at least 5 artists that are now my new favorite. That was really cool to see. Shout out to my booth buddies, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that were around me. We made really good friends over the weekend. The organisers had a couple of events for the artists, like drinks on the Saturday, coffee on the Friday. Luke and Maya, who organised it, I mean, like, I was just standing there and Luke came over and said, "Oh, you're Acacia?" And he did the same thing for a bunch of other artists, so fair play for him for actually taking the time and making sure that he knew who these artists were. I've never spoken to him before, so I'm definitely going to do it again. I'm going to do the Melbourne one, which is in January, or I'm planning to do the Melbourne one, don't quote me. But yeah, I would recommend it to any artists like thinking that they want to try and put their work out there, meet new people, even just to be able to get that feedback from collectors about your art in person. You don't often get that way you can actually speak to people and hear their story and hear how they can relate to your art. So even just that I found really valuable. If you did so happen to come to the art fair, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you didn't get to go to the art fair, then any of the unsold works that I took to Sydney with me are now on my website. They're available for sale. I ship internationally. I ship all over the world. So have a little look-see, and thanks so much for watching this video.